stress cycle is the event or the trigger, the issue, the situation. So we're going to see what the trigger is. What is the trigger? What is the event or situation that is being triggered? I feel just like so much powerful energy right now. What is the event? Oh my goodness. That is being triggered. The event or situation. They just want to throw so much out here. There must be a lot going on. I can definitely attest to that kind of energy. 5 of emotions. Okay, so what's being triggered here is situations in which you are feeling emotionally or physically blocked out from the thing you desire. Let's see if we can get some more details. It's this very cold energy, and it's got this illusion factor. 9 of materials. So you are feeling blocked out from the thing that makes you happy. It feels much more like you put yourself in this position, but you're playing victim. And perhaps you are getting iced out by someone, or you just have gotten into this place of just being very cold within your emotions, or perhaps because you were being cold, you've been put in this kind of block. So the situation that's playing out where you've been blocked out, boundary put up, or whatever, you feel it's keeping you from what you most desire, and you have been put into this very disempowered state where it's like, woe is me, I don't know how to get from here to there. It doesn't feel like you're blaming the other party, but you're also not fully taking the accountability for your actions, or at least that hasn't come out yet. So what has been the short-term relief behavior from this situation? What has been the short-term relief behavior? 2 of emotions. So there's been this, what feels like an oscillation between the high and the low emotions. Just being in these really big waves, but it feels like you're much more aware of them and trying to understand them and allowing them to happen. But these really big waves, they keep coming and crashing, pulling you back down. But because it's all this icy cold energy, it's like the weight of the ice and that emotion is just, it's keeping you in this freeze state. To numb or avoid your emotions rather than feel them, and to kind of block them out, but they're becoming these really big highs and lows that it's getting to this point where you can't ignore them. The underlying belief is the wheel, that you are going to be perpetually, sorry, this is driving me nuts. You're going to be perpetually stuck in this down side of the wheel of fortune, that you're going to continue to be in misfortune, that you're not going to get back on that up, that you can't get that leg up to be where you want to be in this joyful 9 of materials energy where you have all the things that you want. You feel like you're just so stuck in this ice cold energy, frozen out from what you want, unable to, do anything to make it right. But the thing is, you're not doing anything to make it right. You're numbing and suppressing and trying to avoid the feeling. There's absolutely no action that we're seeing being taken yet. It's just this perpetual woe is me self-victimization energy. So what is the underlying belief? What is the underlying belief? This is holding a lot of energy from my previous collective reading, where you felt like you were blocked out of what you desire. And this 6 of materials and 3 of emotions hold a lot of the same energy in that reciprocity of co-creation and what goes around, and very much a karmic element, law of cause and effect of like what goes up must come down. And that's the wheel energy. It's like you don't see that at some point everything has to come back up, whether it's these emotions, whether it's you having these tough conversations, whether it's just good fortune coming back around and you having to learn those lessons to get there. There's some part of this process that you're not fully seeing or embodying because you just keep blocking out the emotion and suppressing and numbing in whatever way you can. I keep hearing burying yourself in work. So like busy work, like trying to keep yourself busy, not to feel, not to think. And that can be very dangerous energy sometimes. Like at some points it can be very useful if like you have something that you absolutely need to focus on and to just zero in on it and get it done. But there are times when we throw ourselves into projects or work in a very negative way to avoid having to address the actual problems and take the accountability and feel those feelings and, you know, see how all those pieces are coming together and what is really being triggered within you that you're being asked to look at and change, grow, evolve, let go of. And it's this needing to come through this maturation process to address those inner child pieces and what's being triggered there, and that kind of autonomous adult that we've been talking about, and coming through those phases and understanding that you have to take accountability for who you are and the actions that you take and what you're feeling and all of those pieces in order to have these healthy, reciprocal, balanced relationships. And your belief here is that you don't think that you have what it takes to do that, or that it's just not possible. It's very much got like this crying over spilt milk. And I can feel the disempowerment. So what is the identity surrounding this? What is the identity surrounding this? Page of emotions. It's this sense of needing to protect yourself. Self-preservation is self-deprecation. One of my favorite Muse quotes. You should probably learn from their own quotes. That was a little much, Katrina, but it's true. Kind of this needing to self-protect, but at the same time you don't realize these experiences are happening to help crack you open again, to help you heal from former heartbreak, and to look at this cycle and these feelings and get to the root of whatever the core trauma and belief is. Why don't you feel like this is possible? Why do you feel so disempowered? And that's going to be very specific. I'm not going to be able to get that kind of clear reading in a collective reading, because like that's going to be so tailored to your personal trauma and your personal beliefs and all of the constructs which have created you. So if you need that information, come talk to me. It's my favorite stuff. And all of those shadow aspects, and just allowing for your heart to open again, to allow yourself to love, to feel, allow yourself to feel. I'm feeling earth signs, y'all, like, and fixed signs. Like, you have to allow yourself that space to feel your emotions, to name them, and to find the processes that work for you. If you need more tools and help and processes, I've got them. Either come talk to me or wait for what I'm bringing, because like there are so many beautiful ways to navigate these spaces. And if you don't have those tools, you don't have those processes or those awareness or that emotional labeling, those are skills you can develop. And part of that is creating a safe space within yourself to feel again. And then coming back to these spaces, having these tough conversations, knowing that you have the fortitude within inside of yourself to handle it. Whether it be rejection, there's a heavy undertone of like rejection here. But that also is being mirrored from self-rejection. So let's find out what thought loopings are coming through with this. How is this contributing to how you're thinking? Energy flows where attention goes. It's Eight of Inspiration in the Moon. It's this idea that you're trying to take action towards what you want, but there's this illusion that you can't get there, that you don't actually have what it takes. It's like you're trying and trying and trying so hard, but like someone's got like their hand to your forehead and you're like trying to make this move, but that hand to your forehead is an illusion. It's just these disempowering belief systems that you have about yourself, or that someone told you and convinced you that, you know, you are a certain way or a certain person, or that you can or can't have certain things. But what you don't see is that simultaneously, every step that you take, you are breaking down this illusion. And for some reason, you're blind from that. And I think it's part of it is learning to tap back into your own intuition and to trust that part of yourself again, which I get is really hard, because if you've had your heart broken, you've been rejected, used, abused, whatever the case, like, it's really hard to trust yourself again. But the betrayal of another has very little to do with your internal world, other than you needing to self-forgive, which is what I am sitting in right now so heavily, and understand that you were operating from whatever information that you had. If someone wasn't being clear and direct, or was being underhanded or manipulating, or, you know, just heavy manipulative energy in any way, shape, or form, just not being truthful or honest or upfront, like, if you don't have a clear picture about what you're working with, yeah, your expectations and everything are going to be kind of mismanaged, because you're not on the same page, you're not seeing the same thing, you're not experiencing the same thing, and that is very hurtful energy. So being able to trust your own intuition again and to trust others takes a lot of healing. Believe me, I've been working on it for months at this point, and it still hurts. It's still these waves of really big hurt. So what feelings is this bringing up for you that you're avoiding? What feelings is this bringing up? Don't make me go get it. Fine. Muse of Voices. That you can't speak your truth. You are fearful of speaking your truth because you are worried about what the repercussions of that are going to be, because in the past you've done that. You've spoken your truth, you've spoken your emotions, you poured your heart and soul out, and you were met with rejection or abandonment or ridicule or abuse, and or someone took advantage of you or manipulated that, and now you have this entire distrust, which created this situation that you feel blocked out from your happiness, this two of emotions and nine of materials that you want to have, but you are the one who put up this block. You put up these walls, and you're wondering, like, why can't I get to what I want? And it's like, you are the one who has to tear down your wall. It's not about anyone breaking through your walls or scaling your walls trying to get to it. It's you having to understand that you can create healthy boundaries and trust your intuition and be in spaces and relationships where who you are is honored, where you can speak your truth and show up authentically and be honored in that and met in that and not be manipulated. Like, sometimes it takes having those relationships to actually allow that space for you to heal. I can attest to that in so many ways, both romantically and platonically, while simultaneously being hurt. Because guess what? We're all human. We're all healing, but we still need each other. These triggerings within relationships can be positive experiences when there is accountability and you own up to your own shit and you allow yourself to feel and develop that emotive language. Fear. Lovers. Wow. You fear that balance. You fear having the thing that you actually want, and I get that. I get it so much in so many levels. But the thing is, you are the only thing holding yourself back from your happiness, because you are so fearful of losing it, of not trusting your intuition and thinking that it's all this illusion, that it's not real, that you're just gonna get hurt again. So not only are you not allowing yourself to feel these waves of emotion of high and low and where you're hurt and where you're healing, you're not allowing yourself to feel the joy, to feel the love, to welcome it into your life, and to know and trust that it is safe. And I am so sorry that whatever happened in your past made you feel that way. Because you deserve healthy love. You deserve healthy relationships, whether that's partnership, family, friends, community, colleagues. Like, you are deserving of that healthy reciprocation, of that co-creation, of the joy and the abundance and the prosperity, of balanced, healthy emotions, of this love, of being in your authenticity. You are worthy and deserving of being who you are. And if you can just have the accountability to say, yes, I have walls up. These are my walls because I am hurt. Even just communicating that could be the biggest step that you take in your healing journey, because that opens up this space for dialogue, for safety, and either someone can meet you there in that or they can't. If they have a level of self-awareness and just stability within who they are, and they know to some degree their shadow and their trauma and how it shows up, they can hold enough space for you to be present, to be patient, to love you and be present with you and for you and show up for you in this space while you navigate it. Like I said, you don't have to put life and love and joy on hold until you are healed. There is no healed version of you. Life is this constant evolution, this constant pulling back of layers. Things are still going to be triggered by the randomest of things. You just get more fortified within yourself. You have a greater, wider perspective on the entire story and why things are the way they are and how you're showing up and why you're showing up, and you develop healthy tools and techniques to navigate them real time. That's what healing is. That's what healed is. But there is absolutely no reason to put walls and boundaries up so high that you don't allow yourself to experience love, joy, satisfaction, fulfillment. But that's what we do. We put up those walls, and then we live in this space of distrust and disharmony within ourselves that gets mirrored in our lives. Finances, are low, relationships fall apart, whatever. And then we see that as a confirmation of all of the bad to validate our hurt feelings, rather than recognizing, hey, my internal world is chaotic and my external world is reflecting that back at me, and I want to do something about that. So please let this be a wake-up call to you. to create the space in which you can safely feel and navigate your emotions, to label them, move through them, let them go, to find healthy, supportive community, partnerships, whatever it is that you need, and to have those tough conversations or dialogues where need be, so that you can step out of that energy and re-empower yourself and go after what it is that you want and create the life that you want from a place of empowerment rather than this disempowerment. I believe in you for whatever it's worth. I've been through the process so many times. That's why I can sit here so confidently and say what I'm saying and still see the mirror of all of this being reflected back at me. Both in my personal life, in my soul's mirror, how it's showing up, like all of the things. Believe me, I hear all of this for myself too. So if you need that support, or you want community, need connection, need a listening ear, need guidance or support on a more personalized scale, I'm here. I can put you in contact with other people if we're not the right fit, what have you. But just know that there are resources out there for you. There are tools and processes to help you navigate this that meet you where you're at. And you can go at it alone if you want, but it's gonna be a little bit harder. Because we are designed to be in communities, to be in partnerships, to have that relational aspect in our healing. And while there is a very important part where it's solitary, there is also an equally important part where we have to be in connection with others to heal. So honor and find value in both of those spaces, because that's very much that chariot energy of, if you can bring those two things together, you will have that beautiful momentum forward, and your healing journey will not be this tragic experience, but one of beautiful catalytic growth, and it can be something that you get excited about rather than sitting in the space of disempowerment. And that is my hope and dream for you. All right, I love you.